The conference room went dead silent. Sarah Chen, CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech companies in Silicon Valley, had just made an outrageous bet in front of her entire leadership team. She turned to the maintenance man who'd been quietly working in the corner and said those words that would change everything: "Fix the generator before my presentation in 20 minutes, and I'll kiss you right now, in front of everyone." The room erupted in nervous laughter. But what happened next taught everyone there a lesson about respect, humility, and the kind of courage that has nothing to do with corner offices or six-figure salaries. Before we continue with this incredible story, if you love heartwarming tales that restore your faith in humanity, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join the Kindness World family. Drop a like if you believe one act of kindness can change everything, and comment below telling us about a time when someone's compassion made a difference in your life. Now, let's get back to what happened in that boardroom. Marcus Williams had been working maintenance at Tech Vista Solutions for 3 years. A single father of 2 girls, he took the night shifts because they paid a little more, enough to cover his daughter's school supplies and the occasional pizza night that made them feel like any other family. That morning, he'd been called in early because the backup generator was acting up, and with a major investor presentation scheduled, the company couldn't afford any power issues. Marcus didn't mind. He never minded. He showed up, did his work with quiet competence, and went home to his girls. He didn't expect recognition. He definitely didn't expect to become the center of attention in a room full of executives wearing suits that cost more than his monthly rent. Sarah had been under incredible pressure. The presentation could secure $50 million in funding or send investors running. When the lights flickered during her prep time, something inside her snapped. She was known for her sharp tongue and high standards, and in that moment of stress, she let her frustration show in the worst possible way. The comment about the kiss was meant to be sarcastic, a cutting remark to emphasize the impossibility of the task. She didn't even look at Marcus when she said it. To her, he was just part of the furniture, invisible like so many people we pass every day without really seeing. But Marcus looked up from his toolbox, and for a moment, their eyes met. Sarah saw something there she hadn't expected, not anger, not intimidation, but a quiet dignity that made her feel suddenly, uncomfortably small. He didn't say a word. He just nodded once, picked up his tools, and walked out of the room. The executives shifted in their seats. A few checked their phones, pretending they hadn't witnessed their boss's cruelty. But Jennifer Park, the HR director, felt her stomach turn. She'd seen Marcus's personnel file. She knew he was working double shifts to support his family after his wife passed away from cancer 2 years ago. She knew he'd never been late, never complained, and had once stayed until midnight to fix a broken heating system so the office wouldn't freeze over a holiday weekend when no one else was even there. 18 minutes passed. The room grew warmer as people waited, tension building. Sarah tried to focus on her notes, but her hands were shaking. Not from worry about the generator. Something about the look in Marcus's eyes had cracked something open inside her, a realization of her own ugliness in that moment. Then, with 2 minutes to spare, the lights steadied. The hum of the backup generator settled into a reliable rhythm. Marcus appeared in the doorway, grease on his hands, sweat on his forehead. He'd done the impossible. The room waited. Sarah stood slowly, her face flushed. This was the moment everyone expected her to laugh it off, to dismiss her earlier comment as a joke and move on with her day. Instead, she walked across the room until she stood directly in front of Marcus. "I apologize," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What I said was disrespectful, demeaning, and completely out of line. You didn't deserve that. You never deserve that." Her voice cracked. "You show up every single day and keep this place running, and I've never once thanked you. I've never even learned your name until I looked at your badge just now." Marcus stood there, this mountain of a man with gentle eyes, and he did something unexpected. He smiled. "It's okay, Ms. Chen. We all have hard days. You don't owe me anything. I was just doing my job. But Sarah shook her head. No. I owe you everything. This company runs because of people like you, people I've been too blind and too arrogant to see. She turned to her leadership team. The presentation is postponed. We're going to have a different kind of meeting today. What happened next became legendary in Silicon Valley. Sarah canceled the investor meeting and instead called an all-hands company gathering. She told the story of what happened, owning her mistake in front of 300 employees. Then she announced a new initiative. Every executive would spend 1 week each quarter working alongside maintenance, janitorial, and support staff to understand the real backbone of the company. But more than that, she established the Marcus Williams Scholarship Fund for children of working parents, ensuring that families like his would have support for education and childcare. She personally apologized to Marcus's daughters, Emily and Sophia, and told them their father was a hero. Marcus didn't want the attention, but he accepted it with grace. When reporters asked him why he wasn't angry, why he'd forgiven Sarah so easily, he said something profound: kindness isn't about keeping score. It's about giving people the space to become better. Ms. Chen made a mistake, but she owned it. That takes more courage than most people have. The investors heard about what happened. Instead of pulling out, they doubled their offer. They said they wanted to invest in a company with leaders who valued humanity over hierarchy, who had the courage to change. Sarah never forgot that day. Neither did anyone who witnessed it. Sometimes it takes our worst moment to reveal who we really want to be. And sometimes, the people we overlook are the ones who teach us the most important lessons of all: that every person deserves dignity, that humility is strength, and that kindness always, always wins in the end. Marcus didn't just fix a generator that day. He fixed something broken in all of them, something money could never buy. He reminded them what really matters, one quiet act of grace at a time.